I bet you're making this tax planning mistake, and it could cost you. It could cost you big time. So we got, there we go. It's not going to be hard. I'll read this out to you. You can't really read my writing, my chicken scratch. All right. So I'm going to show you the 2023 tax brackets according to the Tax Foundation. And a lot of you guys you're going to see this and you're going to make a mistake. So here we got the top of the 12% tax bracket. If you're married filing jointly is $89,400 and I think it's $59. All right, that's the top of the 12% tax bracket. So the next $10 you make over this costs you not 12% in taxes, costs you 22%. All right, so if you have $89,469, that extra $10 costs you $2.20 in taxes. Okay. Just put that in the back of your mind. If you're single, it's literally about half that. $44,725. That is the top of the 12% tax bracket. So if you make $45,000, that extra $275 is not taxed at 12%, it's taxed at 22%. All right. So I'm just telling you, if you type in 2023 tax brackets, the very first thing that's going to pop up, at least in my search thing, was the Tax Foundation tax brackets, which I'm freaking big fan, long time, first time. The problem is this isn't true. I mean, it's true, but it's not what you think it is. This is your taxable income, all right? This is your taxable income. That is after standard deductions and if you do itemization come into being. Now, most people don't do itemization anymore. Thank you to Donald J. Trump. The Trumpster. You getting on the Trump train, are you? The whole thing is just silly, but it's kind of fun to watch, talking about it. Because people get really, Trump still draws them. He still draws them. It's funny, man. People can't stand the guy or they love the guy. And at the end of the day, I don't think it matters. I think it's all corrupted anyway, so it's all good. Well, I'll still vote for Trump. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to vote because I just want to stick it to Sniffy Joe as if my vote matters. My vote counted here in Fulton County, but be that as it may. So we got married, single taxpayer, but what happens is you got to scroll down to see what your standard deduction is, amigos. Your standard deduction. And I bet you if you're using tax planning and you're saying basically $45,000 and $90,000, depending on single married filing jointly, you're making a big mistake because if you're married filing jointly, you get almost another $30,000 of standard deductions. If you're single, you get almost another $15,000. So in this case, it's roughly, for just simplicity, $120. This I should sound like that actually. $120. Roughly $120 is your income before you go into the 12%, the 22% tax bracket. And here's roughly $60. Probably should have kept it red for uniformity, but there you go. As an infantryman, what do I know? I didn't get promoted to private E2 for 6 months after I got a basic training. And yet here you are listening to me. How insane is this? Private Joe Snuffy. You know, they got that corporal guy from the Marine corporal guy who does all kinds of like homesteading stuff. That guy, I don't know his name. That guy crushes. What the hell's his name? Corporal something on YouTube. Yeah, but that guy's awesome. But he's a corporal, an NCO. Here's your old buddy Josh, Private Joe Snuffy, and yet you're listening to me. So anyway, if you got $60,000 of total gross income, you're still in the 12% tax bracket, man. If you got $120 of total gross income as married filing jointly, you're still in the 12% tax bracket. Now, we're not talking about things like provisional income or Obamacare when they add back into your like municipal bond income, stuff like that. We're not talking about it because if you have municipal bond income, that's not even part of this, by the way. I'm not a big fan of municipal bonds, just FYI. I've done 1,000 videos on that. You should watch my course, Retirement Planning course. You should buy that. $250, dude. It's a great deal. I'm telling you, you got 30-day free look. If you don't like it, get your money back. I don't care. I've had a few refunds, not much. I think I've sold, I don't even know how many I've sold. I made big, I'll say huge. I've made good money on that course, actually. I haven't given that many. I mean, I don't do it, you know what I'm saying? But you got 30 days. If you don't like it, just get your money back. I will never know. I don't care. But I don't think you will, because I think this course is great. What, like 50 hours of pure entertainment content that's actually talks about retirement planning. And for those of you to keep politics out of it, kind of do keep politics out of it. Anyway, so if you have $60,000 of AGI, you're still in the 12% tax bracket, which means if you're going to do Roth conversions or anything like that, or just distributions from your retirement accounts before you start pulling from your brokerage accounts, if you're at $44,000 as your taxable income, you have basically $14,000 you can add to remain in the 12% tax bracket. And remember, if you're in the 12% tax bracket, that means long-term capital gains and qualified dividends aren't subject to taxation. Again, you got to be careful. Those long-term capital gains and qualified dividends can put you above the 12% tax bracket. So again, as I said the other video the other day, you can't have $1 million in long-term capital gains and think you're not going to pay any because you only have $44,000 of taxable income. It doesn't work like that. But here you got $13,850. You're still in the 12% tax bracket. I mean, if you have a VTI and a brokerage account, just for hear me out, there's no long-term capital gains in there because Vanguard has this great deal, all right? If you have, there's hardly any dividends in there. You know, let's say you have $50,000 of VTI, $100,000 of VTI. You're gonna get $2,000 of qualified dividends. Whoop-de-flip-and-do. So you got almost $15,000 here. You can start pulling money out of your pre-tax money. You know what I'm saying? To live on. You start pulling that money out before you touch your brokerage accounts to maintain yourself in the 12% tax bracket. And most of those qualified dividends, long-term capital gains, as long as it's kept under the 12% tax bracket, will be tax-free. Why? People got to do better tax planning. Your income tax, my friends, it might not be high. It's not high. It's not. We're not Sweden, Fred. I'd say this to people all the time. I show them all the time on their 1040 when I'm using my Right Capital software. I say, you realize, we don't pay a lot of tax as retirees, dude. We just don't. I'm sorry. All these people, I don't get it. Some people just have this need to gripe. I don't. I have a need to to remove myself from that griping. I just don't care. Like people say, you don't have to be here. You don't have to watch me. You can go someplace else. There's plenty of other people you can go to on YouTube. I don't care. But I do know when I'm appealing, it's called same group preference. There's a group of people I'm trying to appeal to. Those generally happen to be Christians or faith-based minded people, spiritual people, who generally fall on the right, you know what I'm saying, who generally are pro-America. And I'm not pro-American as they sound like, let's go to war. No, hell no. But pro-American, the lifestyle, the American lifestyle where we can do what the hell we want as long as we leave each other alone. You know what I'm saying? And I love Jesus. Oh my goodness, how dare you say that? I don't love Jesus. I can't listen to you. Okay, that's fine. How can you say offensive things? I think Jesus was pretty offensive. Are you comparing yourself to Jesus? No, I'm just saying when people say, how dare you say offensive things? I'm saying, I think Jesus, the only Son of God, was pretty doggone offensive when he was challenging the power structure. I don't know, just throwing it out there. I don't know. That's for you to decide. Maybe you should open up your Bible and look at it, for instance. But this gives you $27,000 of wiggle room that you were probably not aware of that you can do things with before you're in the 22% tax bracket. And yet the tax foundation, again, it will show you these tax brackets, and they're right, that's taxable income, but you got to go down to see the additional standard deductions, which makes your AGI. Because 120 is your AGI, that's the 12%, that's the top of the 12% tax bracket. Anyway, hope this helps. If you like these videos, don't forget to subscribe down low. Always, you can buy me a cup of coffee and the Doobie Duke down low. I forgot to put it in my last video. Be on the lookout for my new course, going to be coming out here shortly. It's called Investment Basics for regular people, something like that. I have yet to decide a good name. I've had a number of people send me good emails. I'm just not sure. I want to keep it simple, man. Investment Basics, investing for beginners. I don't know. We'll see. But love your thoughts. We'll see you.